We're actually going to go to a second round of questioning, and a number of members here would like to ask some questions. I'm going to recognize myself for 5 minutes. Ambassador Kennedy, I was struck here actually as we thought more about your answer to the 14 lost functionalities, that there were 7, and I'd be interested to follow up on which 7 stay and which 7 don't. But I was really struck by your comment, and I hope I heard you right, we'll have to go back and look at the record, that you said that the State wasn't going to fire back. We may be actually taking mortar rounds, we may be taking rocket fire, but that you don't plan to fire back. Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We have no intention of using 155mm howitzers from the American Embassy compound to fire back into Iraq.
So we're just going to keep taking the shells and just keep taking it, or
no, sir. We are already working very, very well with the government of Iraq, providing them with the locations that the material has been fired at us, and the Iraqi government has been successful, not to the degree that I wish they were, in disrupting those who would fire on our diplomatic and consular positions. But it is not the function of a diplomatic entity to engage in a defensive
Well, and that's the concern.
Like
I mean, at the end of the day, that is the concern, that on January 1st, we don't expect that suddenly it's going to be a safe place. And we'll have to continue to explore this.
Could I finish this?
Yes. Yes.
There are 2 parts to the counter battery, sir. There is the return fire, but the prelude to that is called sense and warn, which we are retaining, which is a radar system that tracks the incoming fire and sounds a warning for our people to take cover, and that we are retaining.
This will obviously need to be more further explored. In a Senate Foreign Relations report issued by Senator Kerry on January 31st of this year, he maintains that as of December, land use agreements had not been signed and construction had not begun on satellite sites, with less than 10 months to go before the deadline. Could you please give us an update on this? Because it seems like a very short amount of time in order to build a fairly significant facility. You haven't even acquired the land, is that correct?
We are very, very close to signing agreements with the government.
What's that going to do to the timeline?
We believe at the moment we are still within the timeline, because what we have done is part of our planning process in coordination with our Defense Department colleagues. We have identified the plots of land that we need. We have surveyed them. We have engaged the architectural and engineering work, and the contracts for the construction have been sent out for bids, and the bids are back in. So the delay in
you're telling me you're going to still hit the timelines.
At the moment, today, I'm telling you I'm still going to hit those timelines.
Mr. Kendall, briefly.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to mention so the committee understands that the land we will be using is land we are currently generally in possession of. So we're shrinking our bases essentially to provide compounds, if you will.
Thank you. That is helpful. I do appreciate it. I need to move on. In April of 2010, Ambassador Kennedy, you sent a fairly direct statement out, a letter, saying that without the equipment that you needed, for instance, Black Hawk helicopters and whatnot, that there would be, quote unquote, increased casualties. I get a sense that some of that list has been to your satisfaction, but where are we on the list that you issued on April of 2010?
Thanks to the good work of the Department of Defense, I believe that we are on track to receive everything from DoD that I need, or because of, for example, DoD's own shortage of Black Hawk helicopters, we are either acquiring other helicopters from Sikorsky.
But you're confident that you're going to get 100% of that list?
I'm confident we will have 100% of what we need from multiple sources, including directly from the Department of Defense. Yes, sir.
And then for the Department of Defense, the question is, how many troops, how many American military will be in country on January 1st or January 2nd?
Those numbers are still a little bit in flux, but the entire OSCI, Office of Security Cooperation in Iraq, DoD presence will be under 4,000. The most recent number was about 3,900. We think we're going to come down 10 or 15% from that.
And that's as of January 2nd?
No, that's at the end of, yes, at January 2nd, 2011.
Okay.
Next year.
I'm
sorry, 12. Next year.
12, yes.
Excuse me.
But we'll still have close to, 4,000 troops?
4,000 total DoD personnel, of which roughly 1,000 will be government personnel. A subset of those will be military. The rest will be contractors.
And what will the military personnel be doing there?
Various types of security assistance, training, missions such as that.
And appreciate some further clarification of that as we move forward. My time has expired, so I'll now recognize for 5 minutes the Ranking Member.